From the 18th of February 1943 to the 21st of February 1943, German and Italian aircraft were compared at the DSSE in Guidonia. The aircraft in comparison were the best available for the Axis powers in the field of single-engine piston-engined fighters, namely the Messerschmitt Bf 109 G4. The Focke-Wulf Fw 190A5, Mach 205 Veltro, Mach 205N Orione, Reggiane 2005 Sagittario and the Fiat G.55 Centauro. In particular, it was necessary to determine whether the Italian fighters were superior to the German aircraft. In the external form and general impression of the four Italian fighters was good. The existing weapons installations made a good impression. The placement of the cannons and heavy machine guns in the Italian airframe had been well resolved. In the further equipment of the aircraft, the very good comfort was particularly noteworthy. Excellent placements, hydraulic coolant and lubricant, flap drive, hydraulic sand filter operation, hydraulic pilot seat adjustment and hydraulic landing flap drive and of the landing gear. The weapon controls gave an impression of excellent ergonomics and solidity. All four Italian aircraft had a unified cabin structure, front part, and central part. In addition, armored seats and armor to protect the pilot's head were also standardized on all aircraft. Of the 6 aircraft involved in the comparison, the Fiat G.55 obtained such a good score that it was compared in simulated combat with all the others. The advantages of the Fiat G.55 were greater wing area, better aspect ratio, lower wing loading, 175 kilograms per square meter. Where instead the Bf 109 G4 had 195 kilograms for some and the Fw 190A5 even. This gave the Fiat aircraft better characteristics which translate into a much higher maximum ceiling altitude, better maneuverability in turns and better climb-to-altitude performance. Another plus is the installation of armament. Even the existing armament of 4 by 12.7 mm machine guns and one 151 20 mm cannon, 200 rounds, was all centrally arranged in the hull, with a sufficient supply of ammunition, 360 rounds for each machine gun. The armament of the Bf 109 G4, on the other hand, with one 151 20 mm cannon and two 7.9 mm MGs of 500 rounds each, was meager but in the standard configuration, the Fiat G.55 would have had three 20 mm 151 cannons and two 12.7 mm machine guns. An excellent armament without the flight characteristics and performance being compromised as normally occurs by increasing the firepower so much. What instead happened to the two is the case of the German fighters by equating the quantity and quality of armament and the supply of ammunition. Visibility was slightly worse than with the Bf 109 G4 and the Fw 190A5. The advantage of the Fiat G.55 was that it was ready for the installation of the DB603, which would have increased its already excellent performance enormously and easily. Furthermore, the technicians noted that the slightly lower speed compared to the German aircraft, about 25 km per hour slower than the Bf 109 G4 and Fw 109, was due to the fact that the Daimler-Benz 605 engine produced under license by Fiat had a power of 100 horsepower lower. Due to the lower quality of the materials that Fiat had been able to use given the shortage of precious materials in Italy. Furthermore, the Fiat was also able to mount a 3 cm cannon, which made it a deadly fighter, vastly superior to all Allied single-engine fighters. In summary, it can be stated, the Fiat G.55 was on par with the German fighters in terms of climbing performance, superior in armament and range, equal in speed by mounting a DB605 produced in Germany. With the DB603 it would have been vastly superior to all Axis and Allied fighters in every respect. The Fiat G.55 Centauro veered very well and tightly. Rollover behavior was similar to that of the Spitfire. Very easy takeoff and landing. The aircraft was well thought out for serial production. It came out of the contest decisively as the winner, and considering the great development potential and the table that would have led to the reduction of construction times in a short time. It was an aircraft destined to constitute one of the backbones of the fighter for the Axis powers. An excellent project by the engineer Gabrielli.